Hi everyone, it's been a while since I've made a UFC prediction video, and the reason for that was, one, I was kind of upset with the cards that were coming out. They weren't that great. Didn't really get too involved in the fights as far as like logically thinking who was going to win, because personally I really didn't care. I mean, plain and simple, it was just not that big of a deal to me. But I've gotten requests to do them again, so I'm gonna start doing them again. No matter how crappy the cards are, I will do at least a couple fights from the crappier cards. This event card has a couple fights on it that are actually appealing to me as a fan, and I will go over those, and then some more that aren't really all that great but are on the main card, so I'll go over them anyway. One of the ones that's on the undercard that I'm kind of excited to see is the David Loiseau and Ed Herman fight. While I don't care for Ed Herman, I do love David Loiseau, and I want to see him get back on his track up towards the top for the title. I'm hoping that David Loiseau, the Crow, wins that fight there. Also, another fight that I kind of have particular interest in is the Jason McDonald and Nate Quarry match. I hate Nate Quarry. Overhyped, and I swear it was like the greatest feeling in the world when he got knocked out, like seriously knocked out bad by Rich Franklin. I pretty much jumped out of my seat when that happened. So I'm hoping that Jason McDonald wins. I really don't like that Nate Quarry still is getting his shot at the UFC, but that happens to a lot of the Ultimate Fighter fighters now. They just don't get the six-figure contract, but they still, are allowed to fight in the UFC, which kind of, I don't know, it defeats the purpose of the whole competition. So it's like they're kind of doing it for money, and I thought that's what set that show apart differently from other reality shows, but I guess not. Okay, on to the fights that are going to be broadcast during the pay-per-view. The first fight we have on the list is Steve Cantwell versus Louise King, and while I don't have much particular interest in this fight, I do have a good idea of who's going to win, and I have to give it to Steve Cantwell, just because of I think his style will pretty much dominate Louise King, and Louise is going to get his second loss. Next fight is going to be Chet Congo versus Anthony Hardock. I don't know why this is the broadcasted fights, like the two that I listed below. I would much rather see on television. I think they're going to make for better fights, but personally, I think that they did this just as it being the only heavyweight fight on the card. So I think they threw that in there just for the people that like to watch heavyweights. I think Chet Congo is just going to obliterate Anthony Hardock. I don't think Hardock even stands a chance. It's going to be a bad night for him. Next fight is going to be Krzysztof Szymanski versus Brian Stann. And for those of you who haven't watched Brian Stann fight before, he was in the WEC and was also the WEC's light heavyweight, which is their highest weight class. He was their light heavyweight champion. So, for those of you who haven't had the pleasure of seeing him fight, you're in for a treat because he goes full bore from start to finish, and finish usually comes pretty quickly. All 6 of his wins came in the first round, and he pretty much dominated the whole fight. He does have one loss, but all the great ones do. I don't think Krzysztof has any chance in this fight. For those of you who've seen Brian Stann fight before, you'll know why I pick him to win in this fight. Okay, now to the co-main event of the night, which is Chuck the Iceman Liddell versus Mauricio Shogun Rua. And I think this is going to be an excellent fight. This should definitely be a contender for the fight of the night, just because their styles together are kind of like offsetting of each other. Chuck's a stand-up. You got Shogun, who has decent stand-up as well, but also has some ground skills, and so depending on where the fight goes, it's kind of like a seesaw battle there. While I have been quite disappointed in Chuck's performances as of late, I think he's going to be coming back, and I think he will do well this fight, and I give the fight to Chuck Liddell And I would say prediction second round, TKO maybe. The last and final fight, which is the main event that I will predict here, give my thoughts on, is Anderson Silva and Thales Leites. And honestly, I don't know what the point is. Thales has fought a couple times in the UFC. He has a great record, 14-1. But he has not fought the caliber of people that Anderson Silva has fought and destroyed. I have no idea. I have no idea why they would think this would be a main event. Because I have a feeling that Leites is going to get destroyed by Anderson Silva, just as his last, however many opponents have. How long has it been since Anderson Silva's had a loss? Yeah, it's going to be a short night and a devastating night for Thales Leites. He's going to probably leave with some marks on his body and his face. I see a flurry of kicks and punches and a TKO victory for Anderson Silva. So there you go. It's been a while, but I have made my video now for UFC 97, and I will try to continue if I have time to do videos in the future for UFC and Affliction and other events that come. Alright, talk to you later. Bye.